What's going on, guys? This is Travesty here, and today I am bringing you week 3 of the PPL VGC. So we will be facing none other than Bilbo, someone we've faced a couple of times in various draft leagues, and I think we're like 1 and 2. We've had some really good close games, so this should be a good one. Make sure you go check out his links in the description, as well as links to all the other coaches, and in particular Greyvee, who runs the league and is doing a live stream every week of 4 of the games from the week. We'll actually be playing this one on live stream at 6:30 AM my time, so look forward to that one. But regardless, make sure you go have a look at all of those, and then yeah, let's have a look at the matchup here. So Gert's team is reasonably threatening. That Mega Dragonite and Gengar offer so much special offense, and then he's got obviously the Mega Gallade, Arcanine, etc. to offer physical offense. He has 3 pretty solid answers to Mega Floor in Arcanine, Gengar, and Tinkaton, so I feel like all 3 of those are going to come. There's a reasonable chance that Sinister shows up as well. Actually, my grass type is Appleton, so it's the only thing that doesn't get rage powdered away, so he could use that to try and protect some of the other offensive mons. The Mega Gallade also could be running Wide Guard to try and catch out things like the Dazzling Gleam, and then Milotic is kind of annoying for me. It means I can't really safely bring Gyarados because I could just proc competitive, and there's certain moves that I have to be really careful about clicking, and things like, you know, if I wanted to bring like Fake Tears or Struggle Bug or moves like that will actually just proc competitive and make my life harder. So yeah, there's a few interesting things there. I don't particularly see the bottom 3 showing up. Hisuian Samurott just drops to, like, look at my it just drops to Mega Floette or Gallade. Doesn't do enough into the likes of Gyarados. I mean, it could come, but if it does come, it almost certainly has to be Scarfed. The Mudsdale could come as the Mega Excadrill answer, but again, the support I have around Mega Excadrill probably threatens that out, and Rotom Fan I don't think does a lot for it here. It just gets walled by Raichu for days, so it's basically out of the top 7, I suspect, is where most of the mons are going to come. And we are going with a Choice Scarf Gallade, so this thing is going to be one of our leads in game 1 at least. We have enough bulk to, I think it's live Flare Blitz, like an adamant Flare Blitz like 60 or 70% of the time or something like that, and then enough special bulk to live a modest Shadow Ball from a Gengar as well, in case they're not running Timid, in case they're like modest Scarf. And then enough speed to get to a speed stat of 180 with the Scarf, so that will outspeed everything on their team by 2 points, and will outspeed our own Dragapult by 1 point, which means we can go for coaching into Dragapult. We can also go for coaching into some of the other mons we're bringing. I won't get into that. I guess I've already spoiled Dragapult. We can also go for coaching into Mega Excadrill. That's kind of our offensive core, is Pult, Drill, and Floette, so we can coach up one of those to make them either bulkier or stronger or both, and go from there. Otherwise, this coverage is just fantastic into Gert's team. Their only Sacred Sword switch-ins are the Cinny and the Gengar, and the Dragonite and the Rotom Fan, I guess. They've got quite a few Sacred Sword switch-ins, but Sacred Sword allows us to ignore the stamina boosts on the Mudsdale, any potential coil boosts on Milotic as well, and Shadow Claw just annihilates the... Shadow Claw will one-shot Mega Gallade, it one-shots Gengar, it doesn't quite one-shot Cinny, but it does a lot, and then Triple Axle, if we land all 3 hits, one-shots the Dragonite and the Rotom as well, so pretty good coverage for the team, and then just coaching to try and boost up other offensive threats. Speaking of supporting the offensive threats, we have a full support Volcarona here with the Citrus Berry, running Heat Wave just to try and get little bits of chip onto things, mostly that like Tinkaton, for example, and you know, 30% chance to burn both targets, never goes astray. Obviously we've got the Flame Body as well, so we can Rage Powder things like likely Poison Jab from the Mega Gallade into this slot and burn it. Same with like Gigaton hammers from the Tinkerton, for example. Tailwind there as a form of speed control against potential scarfers, and light screen if I decide I would rather have a little bit of special bulk into something like the Dragonite or the Gengar or the Sinister. If they're threatening like a Trick Room angle or something like that, I can get up a light screen and use that to help stall it out. It's unlikely I'm going to click anything other than Rage Powder and Heat Wave, to be honest. The other moves are just like very situational, and then it's just to take as many hits as possible. Nothing interesting about the spread, literally just it has good enough special bulk to live the special hits anyway. It does not have good enough physical bulk, so we're just trying to max that out if we can. Then we are bringing Mega Excadrill. This is going to be this thing's first appearance for us. And bringing Dual Stab with Sword Stance and Protect. Like I said, we can also coaching boost this thing up. We have enough speed for the Dragonite, and that little bit of speed def allows us to live something. I think it was a flamethrower from that Dragonite as well. Thought about running Rock Slide. It wasn't really worth it against the Dragonite. It does like pretty comparable damage, and it's pretty resisted into a lot of other things, and I'd rather just take advantage of that piercing drill and hit through the protects if they are there. And then high horsepower and Iron Head. Similarly with like Shadow Claw or Throat Chop into Sinister, it did do more damage, but if we can get an SD or a coaching boost off, then Iron Head is doing enough anyway to those kind of threats. And in particular, if we see them really lean into trying to beat Floette with like Arcanine, Gengar, and Tinkerton, and all of them bulk invested, all three of those just get destroyed by a high horsepower. And even with the Arcanine Intimidate, if we get a Swords Dance off or we get it boosted by coaching, then yeah, we can just go to town from there. And the physical bulk is enough to live some physical hits. We won't be living like a close combat from the Mega Gallade, but we can basically wall the Tinkerton and take reasonable, take a decent amount from like Hisuian Samurott as well. Then we have, rounding out our support core, we have Raichu. I'm running basically the same thing on this thing every week. We've got Electro Web for speed control, Fake Out, Volt Switch, and Feint. Feint is largely there for the wide guard possibility, so that I can go for Dazzling Gleams with my Mega Floette. Fake Out is obviously really good control into one slot on the team. Volt Switch allows us to role players Incineroar and Fake Out, and then pivot out and then have Fake Out again available in the back. We are running Focus Sash on this thing because we're always running Focus Sash on this thing. Its bulk is so non-existent. And then we are running Static this week because I don't really think that Rotom Fan is going to show up. So there wasn't a huge amount of reason to try and bring Lightning Rod, and then we've also got Excadrill, Dragapult, etc. So I don't know that they're going to be clicking an electric move as their main option into us. And so Static would be nice to just proc on, things like the Mega Gallade, the Arcanine potentially if it's like Scarfed. Pretty much anything is not bad to get statused in general. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty basic Raichu spread. We are running max speed to speed tie with the Gallade and the Gengar, and just keep them honest. If they're not speed tying, then we can outspeed guaranteed with the Raichu. And then you've heard me talk about this mon a lot. Dragapult looks so good in this matchup. Their Ghost Resist is that Hisuian Samurott, which just drops to a Dragon move, and then their Dragon Resist is Tinkerton. And so I could be running like special with Flamethrower, but it's potentially going to be Ockerberry on the Tink, and it's so specially bulky that we're not doing a lot with Unstabbed Flamethrower anyway, so instead we're just going with Dual Stab on the physical side and then Disable Protect. So Clear Body allows us to ignore the Intimidates from the Arcanine, and any other stat drops like Icy Winds or Play Rough stat attack drops and things like that. And then we can hopefully, basically the plan is to lead this thing plus Gallade, go for Protect and Coaching turn 1, and then Phantom Force Coaching turn 2 most likely, to get this thing to +2 on attack and defense, and then just go ham. We are running the Kasib Berry with the idea being if it's like Scarf Gengar, we can still take a Shadow Ball pretty comfortably with the Kasib, and just catch it off guard at some point. And if it's Sash, then we will outspeed it, and once we get a +1 off, then Dragon Darts just annihilates that thing through the Sash. So yeah, this thing is looking pretty threatening. Disable is also nice because there's a lot of mons that only will get like one coverage move potentially to hit us, like the Gengar for example. If we disable its Shadow Ball, then it's probably not going to have a second form of Ghost Stab, so it'll probably be Sludge Bomb, which will do nothing to us. And then similarly with like Tinkaton, we can disable the Play Rough, really cripple that thing, and then just protect or Phantom Force away on the turns that it's going to go for Gigaton. So we can really punish with the protect and coaching shenanigans there from the Dragapult, and the smart targeting of Dragon Darts just means I don't have to think too hard about some turns, which is going to be super nice. I will say I was planning to try and bring Dragon Cheer Gyarados into Scopeland's Draco Meteor Dragapult, but it just doesn't do enough damage even with the crits into things like the Tinkaton. Like a crit flamethrower doesn't even kill, so better to just kind of go the coaching route, and then we can also be bulkier, so we can tank things like Play Rough from those physical attackers so much better. Then lastly, I am going to bring the Floette here. Again, we've got enough speed for the Dragonite. Then we've got enough physical bulk to live something. I think it's a Poison Jab from Mega Gallade or something like that, or maybe a Flare Blitz from Arcanine. A little bit of physical bulk never goes astray on this thing because it's so powerful, it doesn't really need the special attack investment. Obviously we don't do a lot into Tinkaton, but Moonblast and D-Gleam still kind of two-shot everything else, or one-shot. Like, it just does so much damage. We do have Calm Mind there, so that if we can get, for example, Volcarona or Raichu next to this thing, and we get a free turn to Calm Mind up, once we're at +1, everything just drops. Like, +1 D-Gleam just annihilates this entire team, outside of, you know, like, there's 3 resists that can all do pretty good damage, so Arcanine will take like a hit, but it doesn't take 2 Moonblasts. Gengar is so frail it still doesn't take a few Moonblasts, so it's really just the Tinkaton, and the idea is that by supporting this thing with like Volcarona, potentially Gallade as well, we can get enough damage into Tinkaton that Floette is able to clean up everything else. So that's going to be the team. Like I said, this is being played on live stream, so if you do want to see the games live, make sure to go check out Gray's channel there. But we're going to be transitioning across over to the battle against Gert now. Okay, we're here for the battle against Gert. We are actually playing on the live stream. not bring that team, that's my ladder team. Just checking this looks like the right, yeah, I think I've changed everything. It is 6:35 in the morning. I don't even know what change style does. I should look into that. Alright, let's see what Gert decided to bring into us. I need a pen. Okay, there is basically what I expected, except there's a Rotom fan. Never saw that coming. Gallade. Tink. Milotic. Gengar. So no Hammerot, so that's nice. No Sinister, so no healing from that thing. And no Mudsdale, and no Mega Dragonite. So no Mega Dragonite's quite nice. I think I am just going to lead the old coaching duo. And then I think it's Volcarona in the back. Do I go full support on the Dragapult? I think Mega Excadrill actually can't touch Rotom Fan now that I'm looking at it. So I think I'm gonna lean into the Raichu for game 1. No, let's go Floette game 1. God, this VGC draft is so hard. Good luck, have fun to Gert. This one is being played on live stream as well, so check out Greyvee's channel in the description. Low Punny Admirer. Don't love that, Gert. It is going to be Arcanine and Tinkaton. Interesting. So he's going to get the Intimidate down onto Gallade. I'm going to just let coaching rip here. And protect. Could fake out my Gallade. I'm not the most fussed about that. I'll still be able to get a +1 coaching boost off. And we can scout, see if this Arcanine is scarfed, which is a possible bring. Okay, so we get the protect off. Okay, so it's not scarfed. So what do you go for? Willow. Let's play rough into that slot. And it's just Flablets into Gallade, and that just KOs. That's a crit. Okay, we did EV to live that. On everything except the highest of rolls. So that's crit's a little unfortunate. I am gonna go into you here. And I think I'm just gonna Rage Powder Dragon Darts. I could disable, but I don't really see the point. If they have a rock move, they'll probably go for it here. I'm gonna switch out the Tinkerton into my Lodix. This Dragon Darts will do a good amount. Almost brings down the Arcanine and does a reasonable chunk into the Milo there. We're going to tank that pretty easily. And Arcanine goes down. That crit is unfortunate. A second coaching boost would have been super nice. +1. We do have the Cassie Berry here. So I don't think I need to... I could protect plus Tailwind. Could also just be Sash. So I think... I don't actually need to Light Screen necessarily. To Rage Powder, I mean. So I'm gonna Tailwind and Dragon Darts again. Gonna switch into the Tink. This is when the smart targeting of Dragon Darts is just broken. It's Citrus. Interesting. Good bait there from Gert. It's gonna be Icy Wind maybe. Get the Tailwind up. It's just gonna be Scald into Volcarona. We do live because we are a very, very bulky bug. Are we not Citrus? Oh, we're fucking Chesto Berry. I forgot to change the berry across. We're fucking Chesto Berry. Okay. I think that's fine. I don't know that the Citrus would have really mattered, to be honest. You can't fake out my guy. So you fake out this. I'm just going to click Heat Wave. And I'm going to Phantom Force into the Tink slot. Yeah, there's the fake out. We do get the Flame Body proc, so that's nice. But me forgetting to change it to Citrus there is super unfortunate. Because we would have lived the fake out. We're just going to disappear here. It's going to be life due. This shouldn't matter too much. I do be having Floette in the back. We're gonna Mega here. I think not having that citrus might have actually cost me. Gonna Mega and Protect. This should do a lot to Tink. I don't know if it kills. If it kills, we might be in. We've got the... Yeah, just don't know if it does. I don't think it does. A couple of unfortunate, like the crit is really unfortunate and me not having citrus. Yeah, that brings it down low but doesn't quite do enough. It's going to be Gigaton Hammer into that slot and Haze. That's kind of fine. Because now we just Gleam and Darts, don't we? That is going to do enough to take out the Milotic. And single target Gleam should KO Tink here. There's still a fucking Mega Floette, yeah. So I'm just going to check my Tailwind turns now. Perfectly timed, as all things should be. And we do have the Cassie Berry, so we're pretty much good here. Yeah, good to just Moonblast and Phantom Force. Okay, so we know it's not Scarf Gengar either. I'm just going to break the sash with the Moonblast. Probably should have gone for Cliff. That was so much damage! That's a resisted hit. That's insane. And we're going to Protect here, and Dragapult is going to clean this one up. And down goes the Gengar. Right, well that worked. Damn, Dragapult's a stupid mon. So, what do you bring in the back? Mega Gallade just gets destroyed still. So you probably do have to fake out the Gallade if I go again with the same core. Yeah, that fucking Chesto Berry is triggering me right now. So what do you do differently here? Oh, we did see Citrus on Milotic. Do we do anything differently? Like, you probably just fake out and Flare Blitz Gallade to let me get the coaching boost if I do that. So I'm tempted to go U plus U. I still think we bring the same two in the back. Scarf Gallade does look pretty good here. Still. Redirection and Tailwind were nice, but I don't think they provided that much value. Alright, good luck, have fun for game 2. Let's see what changes here, if anything. Bonnie and Zoro. think I just want to fake out here. And does a raw Dragon Pulse KO Mega Gallade? Not Dragon Pulse, raw Phantom Force. Should do. Is that what I want to go for? I think so. Problem is we leave ourselves exposed on this next turn. There's just going to be Psycho Cut. Doesn't even proc the Sash. Way to go. I don't think that tells us anything. Okay, this is going less well. So now we are going to eat up a Play Rough. And probably a double into that slot, if I'm being honest. Oh wait, no, because this thing is going to die. So I'm going to Volt Switch on the Tink to get my chip. Yeah, it's going to preserve the Mega Gallade. Go into the Melodic. Ah, that's unfortunate. Could have got Volt Switch into that slot, that's fine. We should still live at Play Rough. And then we can show off the cheeky Disable tech. Yeah, we do take that. So I think there's no point going for coaching because they can just haze. The Sacred Sword, KO, no, it should do about half to Melodic. I'm gonna Sacred Sword here and disable. That just kills. God, Gallade, you're so good. In comes this thing. Do we switch out? I don't know that you KO me actually. You do with probably Gigaton. But I think these two are more important. So I think I'm just going to Sacred Sword into you. And Phantom Force into you. Yeah, I was going to switch that one out into, is it going to be Gengar? Ah. Okay, so we should have switched. Oh, it's Sneak. Our Cassie Berry will proc. Do we live this? We do, because Dragapult is incredible. Okay, so we're basically forced to switch on the Gallade now. And they go Tink on that slot. So I think we always sack Raichu. So you should be switching out into the Tinkaton on the Gallade slot. If you're not, then we just kill, which is fantastic. Okay, this should KO. it's gonna be Shadow Ball. Cool. So I think we go back into Gallade here. And we Shadow Claw the Gengar. We have seen Curse Body proc. We always fake out and Shadow Claw. It could be, I'm expecting Sash, but we bring it down to Sash and then it's a speed tie, I think, and we just hope that Electro Web outspeeds, and then we go into Floette and try and clean up this game. Yeah, there's the Sash. That's unfortunate. We should live this. We do. Speed F drop. Not the most important in the world. I think we have to hope we win a speed tie. That Curse Body is so frustrating. If it hadn't procced there, then we just win. Like, okay, we do outspeed, so that crit mattered. So we'll drop the speed on the Tinkaton. It can KO my Floette here, but that's not the end of the world. It's going to be Gigaton Hammer. This is the most dead Floette you've ever seen. But it'll just be Volt Switch into Sacred Sword. We'll clean that one up. I don't think you take a Sacred Sword. Gallade is so strong. Yeah. GG's to Gert. Gallade was 8 points, guys. This one has gone sicko mode in both games. That's absolutely crazy. So yeah, GG's to Gert. That's a 2-0 victory. I once again have not checked who I'm playing next week. It's 7 o'clock in the morning for me, so cut me some slack. But yeah, we start off the season 3-0, which is pretty good. So yeah, we will continue bringing the absolutely broken Gallade. Make sure to check out PPL Live. I think I got halfway through that and then got distracted, on Greyvee's channel every Sunday night for European American types and fucking early Monday for us poor sods in Australia. But yeah, I'm gonna get on out of here. I'll see you guys next week.